Hello and welcome to the chat room. Tonight we have quite an interesting session in store for you guys. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Eunice.
Hi, Barry. It's wonderful to be here.
Hi, Barry.
Hello. And hello to all our friends on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you might be watching us from. We are glad you joining us again tonight on the chat room. And as usual, we are here to have conversations that we believe have the power to change the world. And we want you to participate in tonight's, engage with us in tonight's conversation. So be sure to share your thoughts. Let us know you're watching. Let us know where you're watching us from. Send us a hello, send us a hi, and let's get interacting this evening. Let's get interacting this evening. Jackie, so today we'll be hosting Solomon Mulanda. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mr. Solomon Mulanda, who, I was looking at his bio earlier. He seems to have quite an interesting bio. I don't know if you have time to read that. But he is a Zambian who's currently in the Russian Federation studying nuclear energy. He's a final year student studying nuclear energy. He's an entrepreneur, a media entrepreneur,
Before turning on the
and
video.
as well as an author, as well as an author. So we'll have, so we'll be having him come through in a couple of moments. But I want to hear from you, Jackie. What are some of your initial thoughts regarding tonight's conversation? And what do you expect?
Sorry, can you repeat that question? Hello?
What are some of your thoughts concerning tonight? What are some of your expectations in regards to tonight's conversation and our guests?
Okay, so I'm proud as a youth to be part of this amazing generation. I feel like he's an amazing game changer and he's so innovative, and I feel like he's more like standing as a representative for many, innovative youths out there. And it just proves that this generation is set apart and wants to do something big, something different. And we are not scared of trying out new things and bringing out such amazing insights and also just creativity. I feel like I'm pretty excited. I feel like this is a very interesting guest, and the previous one was also amazing. So hey, I'm loaded. I'm here to learn. I'm pretty excited, and I know he's bringing so many wonderful ideas that will inspire our viewers this evening, and not just our viewers but ourselves. Yeah.
All right, thank you for that, Jackie. Your thoughts. And if you're joining us for the first time tonight, this month we've been celebrating youths across the world. As it has been a youth month, we were celebrating National Youth Day a couple of days ago. And last week we had an amazing guest, Mr. Bright, who has a leading edge innovation when it comes to epilepsy. And his invention of basically world because he's created an app that is making it impossible for people with epilepsy to get aid and help. And tonight we are joined by one special guest, someone who's also breaking ties in his circle of influence, and he's putting Zambia on the map. And we'll be looking forward to interacting with him shortly. But before we do that, Eunice, how are you? You've been awfully quiet tonight. How are you doing?
I'm perfectly fine. Thank you so much, Barry. And thank you to everyone joining us tonight. It's yet another exciting conversation. Remember, the chat room is a conversation, and therefore we need to interact. I'm really excited about our guest tonight, and considering that um, he is our first international feature, although being Zambian, I'm very proud that we are indeed conversing and discussing topics that are changing the world. And so from all of this, you could see how far and impactful that the chat room has been, that we are able to attract our very own Zambians that are in the diaspora and many more other international artists that I feel we are going to feature, and guests and talents and all of that. So I'm pretty excited about tonight's conversation. Very looking forward to learning from our guest and what he has to share with us tonight. Thank you.
Wow, amazing. And once again, if you're joining us from Facebook, YouTube, or wherever it is you're joining us, we're glad you're here tonight. We see you. Thank you for being here. Do keep interacting with us. Do share with us where you're watching us from. Do come in whatever questions you might have, whatever insights you might have. We want to have a conversation with you tonight. And it's for me, I'm always excited to see young people winning, to see youths leading, and that's strongly because I believe young people really have what they need today to leave a mark. You know, every society is defined by the youth. Every society is defined by young people. If you go to a place and they're like, this place is it's very bad. You know, everyone is an alcoholic in this place. So you go to a place and say, this place has so many thieves. Usually, what they mean is there's so many young people doing that. So I believe in whatever society, whether here in Zambia or across the world, each society is defined by the youth, and if it's being defined by the youth, then it means that the youth are indeed leading, and it's a matter of how we lead, what kind of influence, what kind of impact we have in our spheres of influence. But the leadership power and leadership mantle has always been on the youth, and I believe it is high time that youths all across the world begin to stand up, rise up, and begin to do something useful with their time, something useful with their gifts, something useful with their talents. And this is always has always been our call. This is what we're calling you to as the chat room. We believe you hold the power, and you have the power to change the world. And tonight, as we said, let's get interacting. We're looking forward to having a big talk with Mr. Solomon Mulanda right after this. Okay. Hello, Mr. Solomon. Are you able to hear us? Can you confirm for us? Welcome to the chat room. We're glad to have you tonight. If you're able to hear us, please kindly confirm. Your mic is currently muted and your video is off. Okay, so while as we wait for him to figure out the technical issue that he's having, Eunice, maybe perhaps can go ahead and just give us another quick intro into the bio of Mr. Solomon Mulanda, who is our guest tonight.
All right. So, first and foremost, our guest tonight is a youth. Remember, we were celebrating Youth Day just a few days ago. And so it's been a very youthful month. And I am happy and glad to say that many youths have come on board. So, Mr. Mulanda, who is known as the Valor, he prefers to be called the Valor. So that's what I'm going to address him as. And we're going to find out more about the book that he has written, because he's an author. And from the introduction that we gave in our poster, we introduced him as being an author, a media entrepreneur, and he is a man that believes in self leadership. He is very keen when it comes to self leadership. He's currently in Russia, and that's where he's studying. He's a fifth year student in Russia who is pursuing a degree in the energy sector, nuclear energy. So away from that, he has also authored a book titled "Manifesting the Hidden You." So he'll be able to share more details about that. So yeah, he's a Zambian final year nuclear power engineering student, a media entrepreneur, an author, and also a Toastmasters who is based in Russia. And he will be able to introduce himself further than what we have said because I believe that he will do more justice. Yeah, I might leave out a few things here and there, but I believe that he will do more justice when he comes on board. I'm pretty excited to be able to have him tonight and learn more as he is going to share insights about what he has been up to and with regards to the social impacts that he has had with the people around him. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So while we wait for him to get ready, we've been having a big conversation about young people, about youths, and in Zambia, the youth theme for this Youth Day was, youth participating at all levels of national governance. So it's a big conversation, really, that is trying to get youths to do more, and so we're hearing thoughts coming in there and there from all sorts of direction. Government says, well, we want the youth to be involved, and there's an action call really, and a challenge for youths and young people to be involved. Jackie, while we wait, perhaps maybe you could walk us through what you think some of the major challenges that remain now today that are hindering youth from participating when it comes to issues of relevance, especially when we talk about participating in national governance. Jackie, what are some of your quick thoughts? Like, what do you think are some of the hindrances that are happening now that are hindering youth from participating from some such kind of progress?
All right, thank you so much for the question, Barry. I think the major problem that we have is um, I think we youth sometimes don't feel like this is our time. As much as it's been said and put out there that this is our time, there's a little part of us that feel like we're still young and we still have enough time to do so many great things. Like the time is now. Like I said in the previous conversation, the time is now. And I feel like if we take it more personal and realize that the time is now, we are not the future leaders, we are the leaders. We're not the leaders of tomorrow, we are the leaders of today. So if I feel if we have that major wake up call that we do not have as much time as we think we do, and the future depends on us, we'll take more positions and we'll take certain things more seriously. And I know you're probably thinking, no, there's so many that are doing so many great things. But then look at, for example, when something serious, let's say when there's a post about financial growth or investment, how many likes does that get as compared to just normal celebrity drama in Zambia? We have more attention or focus on that as compared to what's happening in our country. And memes are good; they make us laugh. But there are times where we have to be serious, and we can, criticize and look at governmental issues and social issues and political issues, and really not make a meme about it, but really sit down and really analyze it. And it shouldn't just be a portion of the youth bringing that change. It should be everyone. This is our time. We're the leaders of today, and it's us to bring all these people to account, to make them accountable for their actions. And also, I think not just on our part, but also the opportunities. As much as we say they're there, if we still have situations where they're looking for 4 or 5 years of work experience before you get employed and you just graduated, then we don't have as much opening as we say we have. And if we don't think a youth can bring out political issues, analyze them, bring them to the table, and it being sensible, then we still haven't created the platform that we are saying we are creating. So I feel like both on the government, on the leaders, and for us to just, I feel, be more personal and real about these issues, and not just, it's not just a slogan. It shouldn't just be a, a theme for the year. It should be in reality. We are where they are creating the platforms, and we ourselves are creating the platforms, and also taking up the charge and remembering that we are not the leaders of tomorrow, but we are the leaders of today. And also, social issues are still there, political issues are still there, where youths are still being used mostly as cadres as compared to the life changes and the community developers that they can actually be. And these are the sad realities that we have. So I can go on, but there are so many issues that are there. But I feel if we are intentional as people and as citizens and as youths and also as leaders, if we're intentional about really seeing the youths in power, seeing the youths bringing the change, we have the ideas, we need the opportunity, and also to just take things as personal as we can and remember that we are the leaders of today. I think that's what I can say about this.
Wow, and that really does say a lot. That really does say a lot. And it's about remembering really that youths are leading now and are able to lead now. And if we can get as many young people to hear this and believe in themselves, I believe we're able to push in a massive shift. And what you said, Jackie, really did draw my mind to a conversation that was a part of earlier in the week, and it was talking about youth. We were having a roundtable about youth, more of a youth endeavor, if you will. And one of the changes that was noted there was that many of the times youth, when they think of national governance, we're just thinking about, oh, criticize what the president did. They're thinking of that highest presidential level. But if you ask many youths don't even know who their local councillor is in their own community. So when we speak of participation in national governance, we shouldn't just think about it from the top, like, okay, what did the president do today? Go on Facebook, post on the Facebook. No, it starts from your community level. Many, if you ask a youth, an average youth, what constituency do you belong to? You'll be surprised. Don't even know what constituency they belong to. Did you vote for the president? Yes, I voted for the president. Did you vote for an MP? Yes, I voted for an MP. Did you vote for a councillor? Yes, I did vote for a councillor. Who is your councillor? Blank. Who is your MP? Blank. So getting to have that conversation really when it comes to national governance starts from the grassroots. It starts from the grassroots. It starts from the grassroots, and the grassroots starts from your community level. So you've got to take time to go meet their councillors, know who is actually my councillor for my constituency, have their phone number, be calling them, guys. Because you can be quiet thinking, oh, the country is being developed. Cash your councillor is busy playing Candy Crush on the phone, or your MP is just there in the office watching YouTube videos and whatnot. So it's for the youth to be courageous and vigorous and really vigilant enough to go out there and begin to follow these processes up. But it doesn't start from the very top, because it's very hard for you to get to the president. But it is very easy for you to reach your councillor. It's very easy to go by your MP's office, to go by the mayor's office. Like, yo, what are you guys doing? Ask them, what are some of the developmental plans that you have for my constituency? Tell them, yo, there's a bad road here. It's been bad for weeks. What are you guys doing about that? But basically, the change starts from that grassroots level. So when we speak of our participation in national governance, really, so just about going for the head, like for the top, because it's very hard to participate. You find it very hard to participate when you go for the head. But national governance starts from the bottom. We have to be able to get involved on a community level within our own communities. Know your councillor. It starts there. You talk of CDF, like that information is gonna come from your councillor. It's gonna come from your ward developmental committee. Like, know who actually sits on your ward developmental committee, because these are guys who'll be choosing. We're talking about CDF. We're talking about bursaries. These are guys who'll be choosing those things now, and you've got no idea who even sits on the ward developmental committee. What if you think? What if you find the MP has just put his relatives there? Like, you won't even know, and whatnot. So it starts with being vigilant and going out there. But that change and that shift has to start on that lower level, and not just thinking about it. Oh, let's go for the top. So many youths ask, where do I start from when it comes to participation in national governance? Where am I going to start from? And the answer really is simple. You start from the lowest point, and that starts with the councillor level. Going, guys, that thing they call council, Kiapa council, Pama use for council. You ask them, I want to speak to the councillor, I want to speak to the mayor. Those people work for you. They, like, literally, we employed them to work for us. It's gonna start there, and us kicking down some doors there, and I'm gonna get involved whether you want me here or not. You're gonna see my face every day until I know what is going on. What's your plan to develop me as an individual? What's your plan to develop my community? You know?
That's the energy we need. Yeah,
Yeah. So I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be.
That's the I know you are on fire, and I know that your councillors, your MPs of your ward are gonna know about you in no time. Jackie, let's please follow through. A wonderful welcome to you, Mr. Vala Solomon Mulanda. We are glad and grateful to have you on the chat. Thank you so much for accepting our warm invitation to tonight's conversation. And tonight, we want to know about you and how you have been impacting your surrounding all the way, joining us all the way from Russia here live on the chat room. Mr. Valor, kindly introduce yourself and please share with us what you have tonight.
Good evening. Thank you so much. I must say it was a process to penetrate the sanctions. My name is Solomon Mulanda, commonly known as the Val.
And by the way, I
Uh,
am joined with my host, Jackie and Barry.
yes, Mr. Barry, I've heard a lot about you, and Jackie, I must say, I'm inspired by the works that you are doing, being that I'm also in the same sector. Uh, Value, when I look at myself and when I saw this invitation, a question dawned on my mind. And I asked myself a question: what made these people invite me to this extraordinary platform? And the answer I must say that came to my mind was value. On each and every platform where I've spoken on, I've always spoken about the importance of value. If you don't have value, people are not going to pay for you. They're not going to pay for a product. So let me take you back how it started. It started when I participated in a debate contest. That was in my junior secondary school. We call it grade 8 in the Zambian language. So I participated in that contest, and my opponent said, "This guy cannot pronounce words. He doesn't know how to speak well." I was really terrified because it was my first time standing in front of an audience. But there were two young ladies that changed my life. After the debate contest, they came to me and said, "When you spoke, there was something that changed in me. When you spoke, I felt as if you are speaking to me and in my life." That was the beginning of the drive. That later on translated into manifesting the hidden you. I must say that to whosoever that is on this platform, Mr. Barry, Mr. Barry, you bear with me that the reason why you're on this platform, or Jackie and Miss Eunice, the reason why you're on this platform is because of what you are doing. Kindly respond if I'm wrong.
You're
I'm
not
expecting a
wrong.
response.
Yeah, spot
If
on.
I
You're
don't
following, sir.
know, yes. So the question now again comes down to value. You have to, first of all, sell yourself with what you do. When I came to Russia, I realized that I would give every reason to why I cannot do other things that are building my life apart from school. But could I just sit and wait for someone to transform my continent with the beauty that I've seen and with the drive that was spoken to me that I could change people's lives using my voice? Certainly not. So when others, whilst others were taking pictures all over the place, I was seeing the efficacy of what the Russian people have built. And I said, it is possible to build such beauty in our country. But you can't do it alone. And how now are we going to translate that which I have seen into other people's lives as well? I had to draw inspiration from my own life. How did I get here? And I had to first begin the process so that people can understand that I was not born that privileged, or I can say the beginning was not how it looked like where I am right now. So I had to start from the bottom, first of all, explaining the processes that I've passed through to reach where I am. So that as I spoke on these different platforms, people can have a different understanding. Someone that is coming from Chivolia, someone that is coming from Changombo, they can understand that I have passed through the same phase. But during this phase, I had to understand that after now reaching this phase, it is the time to build that which I have seen. As they say, words are so powerful. I had to translate that into a book, Manifesting the Hidden You. I was really overwhelmed by the response. If you read my biography, it says 10 different countries where I've gained recognition. That is not something that I just made up. The book launch that we had, which is here in the Russian Federation, were attended by 14 different nationalities. To those that are abroad, they understand how difficult it is in a foreign land to organize such a different number. So now the question is that how was it possible? I'll take you back again. Value addition and prior preparation. I developed a network of people, a network of mentors, a network of people that were at my same age, that were doing something different, a network of people that were even below me. I built a good network. And they were overwhelmed by what we did. So now Manifesting the Hidden You is a book that describes the process that you can go through in order to attract opportunities, such as this one, in order to start making the change that you want, in order to become valuable to your community, to your family, and to your country, up to your continent level. A network, that is what I'm going to speak about today. After my introduction, I'm going to share the power of a network, the power of developing a network. Anything that you can ever achieve is connected to a human being. But most of the time, we're tempted with the mistake to say, we know people. We want to communicate with people when we need them. But to me, it has been a different story. Even prior to needing them, I'm supposed to develop friendship with them. Because when I see you as Miss Eunice, as Miss Jackie, as Mr. Barry, I see opportunities all over you. You are my opportunity and you are my change that I long to see. And you are that change that we are going to work together to make that difference. Why am I talking about networking and this evening about networking after my introduction? I have connected and networked with people from different countries. And this is the best time that the world now is becoming one in terms of connectivity. You are in Zambia, I'm in Russia, but still we can talk and have this conversation. I would like to give a place to those that are listening to us on different platforms. And this is the question that I would ask you. What type of a network are you building? Are you faithful to your network? They say quality people only. I tend to disagree with that. You don't need quality people only, and I don't need quality people only. I need everyone. That has been my philosophy all over the place. I need that God. I need that marketeer. I need that person that is on top. I need that person that is on the middle. I need everyone. Do you know the reason why? The people that are on the ground are able to give me ideas and problems that they're passing through, which the people that are at the top, they don't experience. And the people on the middle now, those that are also pushing in order to add value to the lives of the people, they give me that ability for me to understand that we can move together, exchange ideas. So the people at the top are for investments, for mentorship, to pass me through the process that they have passed through and achieved what they have achieved. And the people now on the ground, I call them the ground of ideas, where problems are, where business ideas are. They are the majority. So now, after networking with these great minds, what do we do? Do we stay just like that? Or do I stay just like that? You start adding value to them. You are exposed to a lot of things. If you are in the place where you spot out what the person that is on the ground needs, opportunities, you share it with them. Are there people that are in your age range that are doing the same things that you're doing? You also share opportunities with them. The mentors that are at the top, if they want to build a network or they want to build a group of mentees, you help them as well. Do you know what you're doing? I call it by the future. I would like to quote the words of my mentor that I long to meet, Mensa Otabu. He says, they that wait to eat the already prepared meal will pay the highest price. Those that wait to meet you at the top will pay the highest price. So now, after the networking part, what do? You share your experiences. You share your stories. What have you passed through? What are some of the challenges that you have gone through that are making the change? Let me tell you one thing. There is no person that is going to change our Africa. There is no person that is going to come and change my life and your life. It is you and you yourself and me myself. There is no person that is going to develop our country, despite them coming with investment proposals. They're just there. But it is you and me to develop these things. And how is this possible? Like I said, by networking and collaboration. When we stand together, well-informed minds, experienced minds, skilled minds, we can build the Russia in Zambia. We can build the Dubai in Zambia. When we exchange, like it says, the conversations that bring change, the conversations that change the world, like this one, believe you me, there is no telling to that which we can achieve. There is no telling to that which we can achieve. It all begins like this. It all begins with networking. It all begins with becoming valuable. It all begins with us. Let me ask a question. Do you think someone can build you a house and live their own? Do you think Really, someone can be sleeping outside and come and build your own. Do you think so? That is impossible. That is totally impossible. It is us to bring the change. It is us to develop ourselves. It is us to present ourselves with boldness. It is us to do whatsoever that it will take to become better. It is us to pitch for ideas. I hear many people complaining, no, they have enslaved us. They have been taking our minerals. It is us ourselves to work together. If you have resources, I have the idea, we combine the resources and the idea, what do we come up with? A business plan, a business model. We start building from there. So basically what I stand for and what we stand for as the Valors, since this life was to get to know what I had. What we stand for is value addition to our lives. What I do and what I've dedicated my life to, and with my team, is to emancipate the minds of many Africans. I say many Africans. That is my mission in life, manifesting the hidden potentials of each and every person in Africa. I don't say the world, I say Africa, because that is where I've been called. That is where I've been called, and that is where the change needs to be done. When we free our minds and see what we have, we can be able to bring that change. That is what we have been doing, providing the trainings on how effective you can become, on how you can network with great minds, on how you can become valuable to your network, and on how you can be sharpened in your skill areas. So at this point of time, I would like to open the chat so that you can ask any questions that you may have. Maybe I'll give it back to the host.
Amazing there, the power of networks. That was brilliant, Mr. Vala. And I know Barry has so much that he wants to ask. He's holding on to his thoughts. And I can see Jackie over there ready to fire all the questions that that have been brewing in her mind. But so before I dive in, I would just allow my hosts to be able to share their minds, and if that they have any questions, and we can check in our comment section if we have people that are joining us live tonight who have made their contributions or questions in the comment section. So, Jackie, what do you have for our guest tonight?
Good evening, Mr. Mulanda. Wow, it's amazing. You kept on charging my mind, and I was like, okay, bring it on. I'm grateful you talked about value, and I feel like somebody understands their purpose. They understand, that they have value, and the people that they should bring into their life should bring value. And collaboration itself should have value, not where you are self-sufficient. And I feel like this is a problem that we have as the youth. We want to be self-sufficient. It's me. I'm solo. I'm doing this alone. And I'm grateful that she brought out this importance of networking. And networking is about having a family, having a group of people working together with shared ideas. So my question is, how we normally Americans, yeah, we normally want to leave our country and pursue our dream. We don't have the African dream. And recently, I was in class, and I'm a literature student, and we're talking about how other countries got an idea, bought an idea. Europeans did that so much, from the Greeks. Bought an idea and then made the idea their own. Is it possible that how can our youth bring out these amazing ideas that they have that are localized? Because just because it works elsewhere doesn't mean it will work the same way in our country. So how can they bring out these beautiful ideas that they have, but then localize them in a way that we can have this African dream where we don't have to go elsewhere to be successful? We can bring success at home. And it also goes the question of, can we make our home as beautiful as other places, as other worlds? Is it possible that we can bring out just in case you got lost, is it possible that we can these amazing ideas that we have and localize them in a way that they can benefit our country? And is it possible that we can actually, make our country, make our home as beautiful as other countries and as the countries that we admire? I think that's my question for tonight. And thank you so much, Mr. Mulanda, for joining us this evening.
So thank you so much, Jackie, for that great question. If you ask me what what I see when I see my country, Zambia, being precise, I see massive, great opportunities. You see, Europe has already been built. Imagine a Chinese man that doesn't even know how to speak your local language. How are they thriving in Zambia, making millions? Talk about Marco Polo textiles. Do you know that the man confessed that he came barely without capital in Zambia? But right now, can you see the huge portion of land that he has acquired? The man doesn't know how to speak Bemba. The man doesn't know how to speak Chinyanja. The man doesn't know how to speak any local language. So you see, it is very much possible to build the Africa that is greater than Europe. We have all what we need. We have each and every resource. But what we need to do is to free our minds from the mind of being dependent. Listen, we have reached a level whereby when we have a diamond mine, we want to sell it to private sector, which are foreign. Diamond mine. When we have a gold mine, we want to sell it. Are you seeing how we limit ourselves? We don't want to manage things. But if we can change as young people to say, I'll manage this thing, not only managing alone. If you need a graphic designer, get that graphic designer. If you need a marketer, bring them on board. If you need someone to fund your business, bring them on board. If you need organizers, bring them on board. If you stand alone, you will not manage. So the great Africa can be built even greater than Europe if we work together. If you work alone, believe you me, you can only maybe make a limited amount of money. But when great minds unite for a greater cause, I'm telling you the truth, it is possible to build even greater business models that have never been seen before. And the other thing that we need to do to build this great country that we want, to build this great continent, is the ability to plan. If you don't know where you're going, it is possible you not know the direction that you are supposed to take. So planning, let me ask this question. Just tell me, do you know the vision of Zambia? Do you know where Zambia is going in 10 years' time? Just tell me, even Lusaka City, just tell me, being precise. Tell me where Lusaka City is going 10 years' time. Do you have a visual perception of where our country is going? Believe you me, we don't know. We don't know where the next tall building will be located. We don't know how our streets will be. So how do we expect to build a country or a continent like Europe? So the first thing that we must do is plan and communicate this vision that we want to build to the children, to the adults, to the citizens. This is the Zambia that we need to see. That now will make us now channel our resources into building that Zambia that we want to see. So as long as we don't know where we're going, as long as we don't see the visual picture, imagine even you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you want to achieve. Are you going to the business? Mr. Barry, I learned that you won 100,000. I believe you had that visual picture to say, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to present. You had that visual picture that made it possible for you to win the prize that you won. Miss Eunice, you are running Blossom Network. You have that visual picture in your mind, painted of exactly where you want to go. So each and every step that you are taking is in alignment with that which you want to achieve. Miss Jackie, I might not know what you're doing, but I believe that you have that visual picture of where you want to go. So if you have that visual picture of where you want to go and you communicate it with you, you know what to do. So as long as a country we don't have that visual picture, as long as a continent we don't have that visual picture of where we're going, we will not become like Europe, we will not become greater than Europe. Do you know that here, even if a government changes, they know what the next metro station is going to be. They know what they're supposed to build the railway. They know what they're supposed to build the bus stop. They know. Even when another mayor comes in, they know what to do. They have built this visual picture, and each and every citizen can tell you this is what is going to be here. This land has been kept for this. This land has been kept for development. This and that space has been left for this. Planning. We need to plan that which we want to see. Then we'll become achievers. Then we'll become movers. Then we'll become competent. I believe I've answered the question.
This has made me feel like we need to start a campaign, the Zambia that I want to see. You know, where people begin to bring ideas of the kind of Zambia they would want to see, the kind of infrastructure, and then we begin to plan around that and merge all the ideas and begin working towards that vision as a country. You know, the growth of this country is not dependent on the president alone, but also the citizens of this particular country. And I believe that from everything that you have mentioned, I totally agree that we need to have a vision, even away from what the president has envisioned for our country. But as an individual, you need to carry that um, mandate and then say, what kind of country do I want to see? What kind of infrastructure do I want to build with the capacity in collaboration with other people who are expertise in different fields for the future generation, because it is up to us to build what we want to see and what the next generation will be able to find. So Barry, I'll just ask that you jump in with a thought before you lose it.
Wonderful, wonderful. I really enjoyed your presentation, Mr. Solomon, and quite vast number of things that you shared on. And I'm gonna start at the very beginning. You said it was quite tricky for you to get on this conversation because of the sanctions. I'm curious because I've got a very big curiosity. How is the situation in Russia? Like, what did it take for you to be here tonight?
It was very difficult because I can't use my laptop. The VPN, I had to outsource the other phone from my friend in order to be here. My VPN stopped working on my phone. So that is the current situation. We can't access we can't access Facebook on our laptops, on our devices. We need to employ VPN to be able to penetrate the sanctions.
Wow, 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 wow. That's definitely something, and we've all been following the situation quite keenly. So I suppose there will be a lot of interest there. Another particular point of interest, you are studying nuclear energy. When I read that, my mind went wow, because I didn't know we had that much Zambians engaged in those particular points of fields. Do you are there many Zambians there studying nuclear energy? Can you tell us a bit about that? Like, why study nuclear energy? What's your drive?
Actually, it was never my plan in the first place. And I was just one of those people that wanted to do everything possible to make a change. So I went for it. But I've later on realized the importance of having a nuclear power plant. Almost in each and every country, it will be a game changer. It will be a game changer. Do you know that ever since I came to Russia, there has never been, if electricity goes, if we experience load shedding, that is 1 second. Do you know that the cars, the electric trains, the transport that we uses electricity? Why has it been possible? Is because of nuclear energy. So most of the times when people hear nuclear, they think about bombs, they think about all these, nuclear things, but that is not all about nuclear. Nuclear is a game changer. Nuclear is something that can develop Africa. Nuclear is something that can develop our country. And believe you me, our economy will never be the same. So basically, nuclear is very wide. It can be used in the hospitals. The X-ray, I believe, when you go for scanning, you use those things. That is also part of nuclear. Preservation of food, it's very wide.
Wow, wow, wow. That's interesting. That's giving me ideas, and I'm trying to connect the dots, some of the things that you've already shared on, and being able to envision the future that you want to see, the Zambia that we want to see. Yeah, I want to ask, because this is your field. Do you see Zambia having a nuclear plant in the near future? Is this something that you envisioned at some point as somebody who's pursuing nuclear energy? I'll be interested to learn that.
It is very much possible. And actually, it was in the process, but at the moment, I don't know. Since we decided to vote against Russia, Russia was actually supposed to build a nuclear power plant in Zambia. It, it was in the process of being, it was under the process and the project that Russia was working on with Zambia. But at the moment, due to the current situation, I'm not sure if they are going to continue with the process. But in each and every conference that I had attended about nuclear, Zambia was never left out. It was one of those targeted countries because we have uranium. And that was supposed to change our dependence on hydroelectricity because it is not dependent. It is the old way of doing things. But right now, there are supposed to be new techniques for the economy to drive. It depends upon energy. So that I believe in the near future, Zambia is automatically going to have a nuclear power plant.
Wow. And speaking of energy, is nuclear energy considered to be sustainable energy?
It is very much, because you see, there have been measures that have been put in place in order to prevent any accident. I remember the debates that were going on. Most of the people that were debating upon nuclear, they had no knowledge about nuclear, how to run nuclear. Everyone was speaking from the ways that they understood it. So people were holding the topic with suspicion. What if this? What if this? But the truth of the matter is that that energy is a game changer. There is no source of energy that can produce energy like a nuclear power plant. So it is very much viable and it is effective and it is the future.
Wow, wow, wow. Amazing, amazing. That is definitely a conversation to be had on a much greater scale. But definitely for thinking of developing our country, these are some of the viable options that we should be looking into. And I'm personally very glad to just know that we actually have Zambians who are pursuing studies in these particular areas, because these are the much needed skills that we need, not only in Zambia, but on the African continent as a whole, because this is one of the areas where I believe we are really lagging behind. Lagging behind. Lastly, sir, you have authored a great book, Manifesting the Hidden the hidden you, and you shared vastly tonight here on some of the things that are in the book. You talk about your network and how your network is basically your net worth, and how you get to interact with different individuals at different levels of life, and how each individual is important, from the higher people to the middle people and people who consider to be beneath us, how it's relevant and very important to be able to network with each one. But when we speak of network, that's how we break this down. What does that mean on the grassroots scale? What does it really mean to network? Is it to say hello? Well, what does it mean to network?
To networking, I me myself, I consider it as, am I loud? Hello? Can you get me?
Loud and clear.
All right. So me myself, networking, I don't per se consider it to be this networking where you want to gain something. I go in a network, I create friendship. I create friendship in order to know the person. On the grassroots, I would say network is just saying hi to a person. Hi, how are you? How have you been? That person that is selling fritters, you see them twice, thrice. They're no longer strangers. You say, hi, how are you? How are you, auntie? That person that is working with you, your workmate, that guard that is at the door, opening the gate for you. That, me, I consider them, those are my friends. That the mayor, that is my friend. So when I know them and I create the friendship, that is a network. So because if you just enter a network to say, let me just go and gain an opportunity, you will not get it. You need to create the friendship. It begins with friendship. So networking, to my own understanding, I consider it friendship. A friendship where I can call someone, even when I was launching the book, the people that did the deco, the place where I hosted the book, they said, oh, is Solomon? We're going to do it for him. We're going to give him all the instruments, the place. The owner of the school said, it is Solomon. Oh, he's a good friend of mine. He's going to launch the book in our own school. The instruments will be there, the cameras will be there. Imagine, why did it happen so? I created friendship. Friendship with a man. Friendship worked. When he needed me to be there, I was there. So to me, on the grassroots, networking is friendship. Just creating friendship. With that conductor, I get on the bus twice, thrice. I create friendship with them. So to me, networking is just creating friendship.
Wow, wonderful. I love that. Networking is simply creating friendships, and that's really a powerful, and because that is definitely one of the ways we change the world, by creating friendships in more places than we do enemies. So I really love that your definition involves the aspect of being able to create friendships, and not just seeing opportunity in people. It's like, oh, that person, connection, that person, connection, 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 because then it really becomes artificial. It's like your people, you start seeing friends, you're just seeing wires in people to connect yourself to. Wire, 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 wire. And that would be a very interesting way of living out life. So I really love the part that you're bringing out, the aspect of having a friendship, having friendship. And lastly, I have a several couple of questions because of time. I think this will be my last question to you. What is your vision for Africa? You said Africa is your area. I think I recall you said that. So, as Mr. Solomon Mulanda, what is your vision for Africa? What is your vision for Zambia? You talked about the power of visualizing. Um, what change do you believe you'll be able um, to carry on a continental level? What change would you want to see as an individual? What kind of Africa do you envision as a person? It'll be great for you to share that, and so we can join into that dream as well.
the I believe the next time that you read my biography, you will see investor part of being my biography. So I believe there are many talents in Africa, of which, with my abilities to communicate effectively and persuade people to buy into ideas, I want to use that to help a lot of people. get the resources, get people on board that are having resources that do not have the ability to sell their ideas, and invest in a viable business. For example, that person that has been running the Kantemba for a long time, what if we develop that Kantemba to make it a mall, or to make it a supermarket? What are we going to gain? Who are those people that are having money that cannot stay at the supermarket for a long time? But we have this person that is skilled in selling. We can invest in that person, and the business grows. We divide the profits, we share the profits. We have this person that has been cultivating using plows and so on. What if we buy equipment, effective equipment? How much more can we produce and export? So, me myself, I call myself an investor using the skills that I've acquired. I'm going to invest in businesses. I'm going to partner with many other people that are having resources and invest in different businesses. Why am I saying so? Because most of the times, you see, three-quarters of the Zambians and on the African continent believe in just building a house. When they start working, the first thing that they buy is a land, they start building a two-roomed house. What if we change the narrative and have these specialized people that can be manage businesses, invest their resources such that when they invest the profits, they can even be able to build more houses. We are here now to develop businesses, not just settling for one-roomed house, two-roomed house, three-roomed house, and you buy a car, then you die. What's that? We now, my vision is to make sure that we see efficacy. We see those structures, maybe 12-story buildings. Those are the things that we want to see. And how are we going to achieve this? By people investing in businesses. For example, imagine us having a project where we give ourselves as a country to start creating even microwaves. That has never happened before in Zambia. It has never happened before. We say we are going to make sure that we invest in manufacturing now microwaves. Those people that are having resources, bring them on board. We develop this project. We advertise it to other countries and we start exporting them. Imagine by the end of the year, or maybe the end of 5 years, how much are the people that would have invested in that project be having? So my vision for Africa is to change the narrative from settling for less and leaving business sectors being managed by foreigners. I want the people of Africa to own businesses. I want the people of Africa to embark on projects such as refining gold, refining diamonds, manufacturing industries. I want that to happen. And how am I going to do this? The skills that I've acquired in negotiation, the skills that I've acquired in persuasive and selling ideas and selling myself, those are the skills that I'm going to use. So my vision is to become a game changer. Oh, I'm a game changer. I bring people together that have got ideas and resources.
Wow, wow, wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That was really, really insightful. And one thing I got from what you just shared, Mr. Solomon, is that you believe the future is entrepreneurship, and also just to hear your heart to invest in Africa. I think this is a conversation I've had twice today. And I feel there's a great wave of people, and the world is finally ready to invest in Africa. And when I say the word, I believe these are Africans who are ready to invest in Africa, as you come out, Mr. Solomon, today. Because I think finally, somehow we've been sleeping for a long time and everybody's waking up to realize, oh my goodness, we can do it. And it's amazing to see that Africa is beginning to believe in Africa. And every day we're hearing more people are willing to invest in African ideas. You spoke of the microwave, you spoke of supermarkets. Zambia has been independent for about 50 years up to now. Not one single Zambian owned supermarket. Like everything that we have is imported into our country. All the mega chain stores that we have in Zambia are imported into our country. But where are the Zambians? Where are the Africans when you think of African innovation? So I know I'm just glad to hear you bring that out because it's another indicator that Africa is ready to empower Africa. And today, young people are like, oh my goodness, there's no money, there's no investment. That's not true. Maybe what we don't have is enough innovative ideas, because there are several people like you, like the way you've come out tonight, who are willing to invest in so many ideas, who are willing to invest in so many ideas. We just need more people to come out with those ideas. I see this giving me an idea because I've probably asked my way too many questions. So I'm just going to let her go ahead and carry this forward as we conclude.
Absolutely fantastic. And the aspect of manufacturing, I'm on it for it. So I'm sure that our viewers have enjoyed tonight's chat and they'll definitely take on the mandate to be able to carry the vision, yeah, together with Zambia to be able to think uh, beyond what their minds has ever thought about, being able to process our minerals, being able to manufacture and process our farm products, and all of those things, our textile industry, being able to grow our movie industry, our music industry, literally everything. We have so much that we can do, but we are taking it casually, and I feel like we not do enough, but we know exactly what to do. And I think from these conversations, we'll be able to provoke people's minds to be able to take the mandate, because sometimes people may want to do certain things, but then they feel like they are not able to. So with such conversations, we can provoke great minds. And thank you so much, Mr. Mulanda, for that wonderful conversation and those thought provoking words that you shared in tonight's conversation. And I hope that this is not the last that we are seeing of you, and we'll be able to have another discussion on nuclear energy. And maybe there are people that would like to study that particular course and maybe do not understand its importance. So I believe that with such conversation, we can be able to open up people's minds to be able to study programs that will be able to benefit the growth and the development of our country, Zambia, and Africa at large. Thank you so much, Barry, for that wonderful insight. And Jackie, thank you so much for your contribution tonight. And thank you so much, Mr. Mulanda, for joining us tonight. So, if we have any contributions before we close, if we have any contributions from our viewers tonight, who have been part of the conversation. Barry, you could just read them out to us. And if there are any questions as well that need to be addressed, we can also just wrap it up as we close in tonight's conversation. So, Barry.
All right, great. So we've had a couple of friends come to join us, some friends are joining us, but maybe because of time, that's so much. But we have most of you are so we are familiar with it and discuss, the power of change, the power of the network, and just tuning into the conversation. And usually when we don't have that much distance, it means everything is super crystal clear, which means you guys who are friends who are watching this right now know what to do next. We need your ideas, and we need them now. Africa needs them. Zambia needs them. So I think that will be that from that particular front. But once again, it's been a great having you on board, Mr. Solomon. We definitely need to have you back here again to discuss, especially when it comes to nuclear energy, some of the prospects that are there. But even as we conclude, perhaps you'd have anything, you have something to say in your closing remarks. This would then be the time.
In my closing remarks, I would like to make mention that we are the change, and you must be able to position yourself. Each and every person that is listening to me, you must be able to position yourself ideas. Go on and sell your works. Go on and step out of your comfort zone and realize that you are the change, and don't feel ashamed of your ideas and of your product. Go on and believe that your ideas have got the potential to change the world. So go on and build that which you want to build. And together we can. I always go with the saying that the power behind we can make it.
Oh, amazing. Thank you for that. And once again, thank you for joining us tonight, Mr. Solomon. It has been a pleasure having you. So, for all our friends joining us for the first time, this is the chat room. We're here to have machines like changing the world. We're here every Sunday, new guests every time, and we are having insightful conversations about you. And we want to partner with you. And one way that we do that is we want to engage with you in our conversations. So, let's keep interacting in the chat room group on behalf of our guest tonight and my fellow chatroom hosts here, we have to call a close to this right about now. But thank you for joining us tonight. We're always glad to see you, and we'll be seeing you once again on the chat room next week. So you have yourself a productive week ahead, and I believe in you.